While Bhubaneswar has often been coined as the city of temple in conversations, Odisha is fast emerging as a deeply progressive state, experiencing economic transformation across sectors with a growing talent pool to match. And we caught up with local industry movers and shakers for their take on Bhubaneswar's growth outlook. Joining us on the panel, Chairperson, Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry Ladies Organization FICCI Flow, Bhubaneswar Chapter, Poonam Mohapatra, Assistant Professor of Economics with IIT Bhubaneswar, Dr. Nihar Ranjan Jena, and Chairman of Hotel and Restaurant Association of Odisha and Chairman of Swosti Group of Hotels, JK Mohanty.
Welcome to the heart of India's cultural tapestry, where tradition meets innovation and history paves the way for a promising future. This is Bhubaneswar, the temple city of India. Known for its rich cultural heritage, Bhubaneswar is not just a city of temples, it's a thriving hub for entrepreneurs and small business owners. The city's economic landscape is evolving at a pace that matches its timeless traditions.
In 1999, only one software company was there in Bhubaneswar, that is Infosys. But right now we can see many software companies, many economic zones.
The city has become a haven for those dreaming of turning their business ideas into reality thanks to Odisha's forward-thinking government initiatives such as Make in Odisha and Startup Odisha.
There would be a time when we won't be going to other states to showcase our talent, to get better opportunities. But in the next 10 years, we would be on par with Bangalore and Hyderabad.
Bhubaneswar, where the past is shaping the future and every entrepreneur is part of a story that's still unfolding. The eastern hub is rising and the wolf for sure is taking notice.
Poonam, I'd love to kick off the conversation with you because my understanding is that when Bhubaneswar was originally designed, it was designed to be a residential city, with industrial activity being largely limited to the outskirts. But the tale of economic growth over the last decade tells a completely different story. What are the factors in play here, ma'am?
So, yes, Odisha's growth over the last few years has been, phenomenal, and no one can deny it. I think the major, factors contributing to it would be the focus of the government in its rural development, in its, infrastructure development, in making Odisha a IT hub, a medical care services hub, and many more. Even the industries and services sector has seen a huge development. The policies are very pro-business, and we can talk about it endlessly. But then these all, and women-led development. You can talk about the government's focus on upholding the Mission Shakti groups or SHG groups, and now though they are earning in huge numbers, and government's focus is now to convert them into SMEs. So this is how women contribute to nearly half of the population of the state. And when you focus on them, you focus on the, holistic development of women, you focus on infrastructure, you focus on, Bhubaneswar is listed in one of the, I think, 19th rank in the best smart cities of the entire world. So that itself talks volume, So that's all. There are many things that contribute to it, but these are the major things, is what I believe.
Well, I'd love to put some facts and figures to the conversation, and I'll bring you now in, Professor Nihar. We just heard from Poonam about women-led businesses, all right? My understanding is the state is home to over 1,700 startups, over 600 of which are women-led. That figure is staggering by all comparisons. And then secondly, if one were to look at the state per capita income and the compounded annual growth rate that per capita income has enjoyed over the last decade, for Odisha, it's 10.9%. compared to the national average of 9.4%. Okay, so what do you make of that differential? Does it matter?
Now, it does matter because if we look back, let's say 10 to 20 years back, we were grouped as one of the members of the Bimaru states. That basically meant at the time this state is not doing enough compared to its peers.
Absolutely.
Right. So we started with a low base, but with a stable policy and investor-friendly policies, correctly learning the pulse of the people. Government, both the center and the state, they have embarked upon a very beautiful journey to lift massive number of people from below poverty line. And perhaps that is also one of the very foundational argument why government has focused on small businesses, which are known for creating a lot of employment opportunities.
Absolutely, and that means all of you in this room, so a huge round of applause for you all, please.
Yeah. And we all know that whenever the concept of poverty is discussed, unemployment is tagged as a twin. So if we really want to make an impact on poverty levels in our country, which is one of the highest if we see the South Asian polity and geography, then MSMEs or the small businesses, to be more specific, have a very big role to play to pull out all these people from below poverty line. And essentially, both the central government as well as the state government, they are doing that and doing that quite convincingly.
Right. Well, I want to come to you now, Dr. Mohanty, because Professor Nihar does bring up some excellent points. And when we look at the literacy level of Odisha, it's 73%, which is very much in line with the national average. But what's been a game changer for this economy, right, is the deeply skilled labor force. Right? The working class, the labor force is deeply skilled. And given that you come from the hotels and hospitality industry, I'd love your comment on that and what they've done with respect to pushing the needle on Odisha's economy.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I have been born in this city, educated in this city, passed out from Delhi University, and I have seen this city grow. There was a time when we were in school, there was no concept of taxis or auto rickshaws. It was hand-pulled three-wheeler rickshaws. From that, today, Bhubaneswar is a city which has more SUVs than entire West Bengal.
I think that deserves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
There was a time when somebody wanted to do business in my time. Nobody would give a girl to a businessman. It was difficult to find a bride.
Right.
Everybody was looking for IS, IPS, bank job, everything. Today it's just the opposite. Things have changed. When I came back from Delhi University at that time in 1980, the government announced hotels as industry and gave a 30% capital investment subsidy. I was one of those old entrepreneurs.
Wow.
The government sanctioned the loan, but the banks were not ready to give working capital. The loan was sanctioned by EPICOL and OSFC. But I did not know how to start. Today you are talking about startups. IDFC is talking about giving funds to startups. But those days, being a startup was a punishment. So how the city has grown, and today, with Swosti brand, almost all the banks, they're after us. Do more projects, but I have my capacity. My son has joined me. He's done his hospitality business management from Birmingham University. We are growing. And we are growing because there is a strong willpower in the state government to to see things happen fast. We are coming up with a hotel project in Puri. It's on the beach, where we are doing everything, giving everything what the best of the hotels in the world have. That's the concept what we are thinking, because tourism is bound to grow in this state, and it is growing fast. The government has come out with eco-retreats. The policy, the state tourism department's policy gives a lot of incentives, subsidies to people who want to do hotels. And we are one of those entrepreneurs who have been taking the assistance from the government and have been growing fast. And the tourism in those days, in 1981, when I was doing sales calls in Delhi and all for getting foreign tourists, there was not a single air-conditioned bus in this state. So when I went with this proposal to the Odisha State Finance Corporation, the officers over there said, AC bus nahi chalega.
Nahi chalega.
Nahi chalega. And they refused to my... But there was one officer, I can name him proudly, SP Nanda, who is retired, an IS officer. He said, why not? Why can't Odisha have a AC coach? In 81, I put up the first AC coach, which cost only 18 lakhs. Paid the loan. And today, there are many AC coaches. Everything is available, and banks are very liberal. And they identify entrepreneurs and finance accordingly. So today you have air-conditioned coaches, you have luxury hotels. You see the Taj has come, ITC has come, Lemon Tree has come, Novotel is opening up. Many luxury, the Oberois are there. All the luxury brands, the international Marriotts, they are also there. Most of the brands have offered me कि ये हमको दे दो. But I have decided, no, we will stick to Swosti brand and make this brand a global brand.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. What a journey. All in a single generation. That is the incredible part. It's time for a short break, but our coverage of the Leaders of Tomorrow's Springboard here in the city of Bhubaneswar continues on the other side. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our continued coverage of the Leaders of Tomorrow's Springboard in the city of Bhubaneswar. We're here on ground to bring you all the highlights. You know, I want to get to you now, Poonam, because Sir just a moment ago was talking about blessings. And I think one of Odisha's biggest blessings is it has the lion's share of the country's mineral reserves, which makes this state the leading producer of iron ore, steel, stainless steel, alumina, aluminum, so on and so forth, right? How do small businesses stand to benefit from that rich mineral reserve deposit? And what luck has this economy had diversifying and coming out of the shadows of mining and minerals?
Mining, having huge amount of mining reserves is a boon that any state can have. So that accounts to a major contribution to the state's GDP. That itself says that is the reason, funds are never, we are a energy surplus state.
Right.
We are a fund surplus state. We don't depend on the nationals or the center for many cases. So this is how mining sector has contributed to the state as a whole. And of course, mining, when you say it is, again, my family is into mining, but then I handle a different portion of the business, but then I can say that mining gives you the raw product, like iron ores or bauxites or aluminium or anything. But then, it gives lot of opportunity for the manufacturing industry to grow. We have, steel plants here growing. Tatas are investing. Adani is investing huge. Everyone, now other than mining, even the mining sector needs energy to grow. Green hydrogen is coming in huge volume in Odisha. In recent times, I think many bigger names, many bigger companies in and outside of India are trying to invest in Odisha for generating green hydrogen, for sustainable energy. So, being an energy or a mineral resource, surplus state gives enormous benefit, gives that ability to the state government to think beyond and to act more faster way than the other states. If you see recently, I think we have in the Mission Shakti or the state has developed some new plans, some scooters were distributed and all those things you've seen. And then today in the newspaper I saw the same activity, Mission Shakti in Uttar Pradesh. It happened. Just few days before it happened in Odisha. So this, interdepartmental frequency of, things getting developed at a faster rate is because of its funding, is because of its being, it sustains itself. Right. It is not dependent on, so that is the biggest benefit that a state can have.
Well, Poonam, you bring up an excellent point about funding, and we can't possibly discuss funding in the city of Bhubaneswar or in Odisha without discussing the Make in India conclave. That initiative is making headlines nationwide. And, Professor, I believe that the third edition of the Make in India conclave, which was held as recently as a year ago, has attracted investment proposals valued at upwards of 10 lakh crore rupees. The figure is truly phenomenal, right? So is the sky the limit here? Have we reached a saturation point? Are we just scratching the surface? I think these figures have collectively taken everyone by surprise, including the state of Odisha, sir.
No, I would like to defer that we have reached a saturation point, because as I said earlier also, this is a land of opportunities. Earlier, we were a backbencher in terms of state's performances, but now, particularly since 2000, we have been a phenomenal achiever in terms of every parameter that you see. Because as I said earlier, we started with a low base. So when a country or a region is starting with a low base, the sky is actually the limit. Now, in a conference by ET Now itself, Mr. Bajaj of Bajaj Auto Corporation once said, I am using more than 5,000 auto parts in a single vehicle. Yeah. And all those 5,000 parts are not made by me.
Right.
So wherever I go, my ancillaries, they follow me. So when we talk about ancillaries, small businesses have a very prominent role to play there. So at this time when the world is looking at India as a beacon of hope, the country is looking at us, Odisha, and the capital of Bhubaneswar as a beacon of hope. So in the eastern part of the country, we are actually emerging as a force to reckon with as far as business opportunities are concerned. So our entrepreneurs have a very big role to play, because bygones are the days when everybody was an employment seeker. Now the time has come when all of you, all of us should be the employment creators. And small businesses or large businesses, they all have to play a very big role in this journey.
Well, I want to build on that and come to you now, Doctor. What's your comment on the progress that you consider the state government has made with respect to not just employment generation, but on the parameters of ease of doing business across this state and this city in particular, sir?
As far as ease of doing business is concerned, it has become very simple. When somebody is thinking of doing a project, the government has started a single window clearance. a single window clearance, an application goes to the government and all departments sit together and in one meeting the project is cleared. And once it is cleared in single window clearance, the entrepreneur is able to access to power, to finance, employment, provident fund, ESI, everything is registered everywhere. And banks also give projects which are cleared in the single window clearance because once it is cleared in the single window clearance, the promoter is automatically entitled to get the incentives, the subsidies provided by the government. We get power at doorstep, water, everything. Earlier, the labor class people of Odisha used to go outside and work. Today, there is plenty of jobs within the state. And as far as tourism is concerned, we are very, very hopeful about a very bright tourism prospect. Earlier, there was not so much of advertisements and other things on tourism, but now since last 10 years, the government has taken up tourism very aggressively. You see, as far as myself, I have been promoting Odisha all over the globe, going around promoting the state through meetings and since I am a member of the IIT, PATA, YATA, SATA, all the international organizations, I go out and promote Odisha. What I have realized is why people go to Goa. It's because of a beach. People go to Kerala. Backwaters and the houseboats. People go to Agra because of a monument, Taj Mahal. People go to Madhya Pradesh because of wildlife. I realize that Odisha is one state that has everything what rest of India has.
Wow. Huge round of applause.
It becomes a lot more easier to sell Odisha. We are simply just waiting for the boom to happen. And this year we already have 3 international flights which have connected Bhubaneswar, Dubai, Singapore and Bangkok. And now, 2 days back, there was a news. The Ministry of Civil Aviation has cleared the international airport at Puri. So once we have a large international airport, I think we will be the game changer in Eastern India.
Lot to look forward to. Poonam, Dr. Mohanty, Professor Nihar. What a huge round of applause for them, ladies and gentlemen. That's incredibly well deserved. They've reached deep into their personal and professional journeys to share their stories with us. Thank you once again. Thank you once again. Well, that brings the leaders of tomorrow's Springboard in the city of Bhubaneswar to a close. I'm Pooja Jain signing off. Thanks for tuning in.